Hi, it's Tony Marino, host of the super popular Newsmax Daily podcast, a rundown of the day's top headlines and top highlights of Newsmax shows and interviews you may have missed, plus some sports, stock markets, and even some yucks, all packed into about 20 minutes. Search for the Newsmax Daily with me, Tony Marino, on your favorite podcast platform, and check out our entire lineup of great podcasts, including Greg Kelly, Rob Carson, and Jerry Callahan at newsmax.com/listen.
Now.
You are about to hear the most interesting, informative, thought-provoking, and funny show in America. On air and on the World Wide Web. This is the Rob Carson Show.
This is the Rob Carson Show. Welcome to it. It is already Wednesday, the 17th of December. We had a little holiday gathering here at the building where I work. I do this show from a TV and radio studio in an architecture firm. It doesn't make any sense. And we had free pizza. Do you know what the best pizza in the world is? Pizza that's free. That's the best kind of pizza. Oh my God, it was the best pizza ever. Anyway, welcome to the show. Please come inside. We have much to get to today, including a lot of conspiracy theories that apparently were not conspiracy theories. No, not conspiracy theories at all. Hillary Clinton got money from Russian oligarchs for the Uranium One deal. There's a conspiracy theory. It looks like the 2020 election was rigged. There's another conspiracy theory. Oh, and the FBI raided Mar-a-Lago for no good reason. Isn't that amazing? All of these conspiracy theories.
Sometimes I am a conspiracy theorist, but I only believe in the conspiracy theories that are true.
Yeah, and they're all true.
And by the way, Susie and I have joked in private and in public about that for a long time. For example, I believed in the crazy conspiracy theory back in 2020 that it was stupid to mask 3-year-olds at the height of the COVID pandemic, that we should actually let them develop some language skills. Yeah. You know, I believed in this crazy conspiracy theory that the media and the government were covering up the fact that Joe Biden was clearly unable to do the job.
That was a conspiracy theory is what that was,
And I believed in the conspiracy theory that Joe Biden was trying to throw his political opponents in jail rather than win an argument against his political opponents. So, at least on some of these conspiracy theories, it turns out that a conspiracy theory is just something that was true 6 months before the media admitted it.
Yeah,
that's my understanding.
I love it. I think we need a Christmas song about illegal immigration on the Rob Carson Show.
Somalis are all on welfare, and the Dems just seem to not care. Ilhan Omar, she needs to go.
Yeah, what?
GTFO, GTFO, GTFO.
What's that stand for?
Many are anti-Semitic. Their statements have been pathetic. They're a threat to all you know. GTFO, GTFO, GTFO. They are always expressing hate.
Doody-doo.
Of America, why are they here?
Get out of here!
Must abort before it's too late. Talk about holiday cheer.
Take your Somali flag with you.
Our language, they will not learn it. Own money, refuse to earn it. They are gaming the system so. GTFO, GTFO, GTFO. Yeah. Bye. Hasta la vista, baby. That's brand new from Jim Goss, and I thought it would be a great way to start the show today. I'm in another good mood today because, it is getting close to Christmas here real soon. Oh, real quick, I got a note from somebody, an old friend on Facebook today. And she decided to write me and just to tell me that she finds many of my opinions to be very offensive. And I said, why would you feel the need to tell someone that their opinions are offensive to you? Why would you do that? I don't even understand. I don't go to your Facebook page and go, oh, I find your opinions offensive. I always got a lot of mouthy libtards who are former friends of mine who mouth off and say that I'm offensive. Honestly, if I offend you, Great. I love it because I'm able to offend. I don't have to preach the same words that everybody else does. I don't have to toe the party line like we had to when Joe Biden was the president and the DHS and the Department of Disinformation was created, and they censored Twitter and all the social media for all of our opinions. Yeah, because that was what they did. They didn't like having offensive speech, which was also known as the truth, so they reverted to Soviet tactics of disinformatia. That way, I told her, I said, listen, I'll be your friend. Hell yeah, I'll be your friend. But if you decide that you can't be my friend because of my opinions, then worth it. It's worth just ending the friendship. And it's interesting because Michelle Reiner, the wife of Rob Reiner, used to be real good friends with Donald Trump. And she actually did the photograph for his book, The Art of the Deal. Did you know that back in 1987? They were such good friends. And Donald Trump was so good friends with the Reiner family and everybody in Hollywood that she actually did the photo on the front of The Art of the Deal, which was the New York Times bestseller for 13 weeks, held a position on the list for almost 50 weeks. Isn't it amazing what TDS has done to us? It is ridiculous, and ultimately, it's a damn shame that it has to happen. But honestly, if your friends find you offensive because of your belief in the country and conservatism and whatnot, and they decide they don't want to be your friend, well, good riddance. You know what? You're a better off person than that. Caroline Levitt mentioned tonight's Donald Trump's got a big speech, and we've got to be able to perform and make people understand the goodness that's happening in the country in a vacuum of any good news reported on the media. Nothing that Donald Trump has done this year, nothing, including shutting down the southern border, killing narco-terrorists, cutting off the illegal drug trade coming in from the sea 96% of the time, saving hundreds of thousands of lives, not only from ODs, but also from being trafficked. The big, beautiful bill, all of the glory of that, bringing $20 trillion in new investment into America, making drug prices a whole lot cheaper, making in vitro fertilization absolutely affordable. None of it has been reported positively by the liberal media. So we have to be louder than them. We have to, and he has to, and the good news has to outshine their lies. Here's what Caroline says is going to happen tonight.
And Americans across the country will tune in to hear from their president as well about the historic accomplishments that he has garnered for our country over the past year. If you look at the security of our border, if you look at stopping Joe Biden's inflation in its tracks, bringing down gas prices.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about the gas prices.
The lowest level in 5 years.
Yeah.
President Trump will be talking about what's to come. The best is
all the peace. There's all sorts of peace breaking out all over the world and everything.
Truly yet to come, as he often says. And so he'll be addressing the country about all of his historic accomplishments over the past year, and maybe teasing some policy that will be coming in the new year as well as we head into this Christmas season.
Absolutely, 100%. And it's a glorious Christmas season already, an incredible Black Friday, incredible Cyber Monday, people spending more this year on Christmas, and it's going to go through the ceiling next year because people are going to have more take-home pay. The President of the United States last night recognized the scourge of radical Islam internationally, and I'm hoping that this begins an engagement with radical Islam to end it. Yeah, because it's about damn time.
Let me take a moment to send the love and prayers to our entire nation, to the people of Australia, and especially all those affected by the horrific and anti-Semitic terrorist attack. And that's exactly what it is, anti-Semitic.
It is. Yeah. And the Democrats are down with it, and the left is down with anti-Semitism, just as much as, a certain group that lived in Germany in 1939.
That took place on a Hanukkah celebration.
Yeah, it's okay. You've been calling us Nazis for a decade, and you're the only ones who are really like Nazis.
In Sydney. What a terrible, terrible thing. We don't learn. We're joined in mourning all of those who were killed, and we're praying for the swift recovery of the wounded. Some are very horrifically wounded, as you probably know.
Yeah.
All nations must stand together against the evil forces of radical Islamic terrorism.
I don't think Joe Biden said anything about radical Islamic terrorism when he was in office. He just let a whole lot of them into our country. They say 18, 20,000 radical Islamist terrorists, some associated with the Taliban, just let come across the southern border, absolutely unvetted for crime or disease or anything. And Debbie Wasserman Schultz, who looks like a wet Labradoodle after they, are at the groomers, they forgot to blow dry them. Probably smells a little bit worse. But anyway, she was asked about all the dangers that we face, including radical Islam, and she had this ridiculous answer.
What is the bigger threat to America right now, American values, American life? Islamophobia or jihad?
I think
she was asked to come on the show just to talk about Islamophobia or jihad.
I think we have to focus, quite frankly, on, if we're worried about the threat to American values, on the person who's in the White House.
Oh my God!
I mean, we have a president.
Oh, come on! Really?
No,
is that where we're going? Come on!
Yeah, I'm going there because we have a president who has completely undermined our democracy.
No, he hasn't. Not one little bit.
Who has.
So you don't see jihad. You don't see this as a problem.
What I don't see is it as a single lens problem.
You've got one lens, and it's Donald Trump is evil, Donald Trump's a Nazi, Donald Trump is Hitler, Donald Trump is everything Donald Trump does is bad.
A president who has been determined to undermine our constitutional principles.
No, not at all. You're making that up.
To degrade our democracy.
No, 100% totally stupid and vague. Doesn't even require a reply.
To divide instead of unite us. The responsibility.
Well, divide instead of unite us. Hold on a second. I think the Democrat Party's been doing that for a while.
Politics have become so divided and so bitter.
Yeah, why is that?
All the years I've been doing this, I never thought we'd get to this point.
Yeah, how do we get to that point?
We are.
Yeah.
Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans represent an extremism that threatens the very foundations of our republic. I'd like to punch him in the face. I said if we were in high school, I'd take him behind the gym and beat the hell out of him.
Punch some people in the face!
When was the last time an actor assassinated a president?
They're still going to have to go out and put a bullet in Donald Trump, and that's a fact.
Look as his character is stabbed to death.
Where is John Wilkes Booth when you need him?
Yeah, that's all from the Democrats.
I have to say, Congressman, you know how much I admire you, and I always appreciate being able to come on and discuss things. But we booked you to talk about anti-Semitism and Islamophobia in America. So I'm asking the question.
The Democrat Party would rather take the side of radical jihad than Donald Trump. That's how much they hate Donald Trump and what he's doing to the country. So to you, I say, bah humbug. How's that sound? Bah humbug. And you can stick it this Christmas. How's that sound? Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show.
Somalis are all on welfare, and the Dems just seem to not care. Ilhan Omar, she needs to go. GTFO, GTFO, GTFO. Many are anti-Semitic. Their statements have been pathetic. They're a threat to all you know. GTFO, GTFO, GTFO. They are always expressing hate of America. Why are they here? Must abort before it's too late. Talk about holiday cheer. Our language, they will not learn it. Own money, refuse to earn it. They are gaming the system so. GTFO, GTFO, GTFO.
Shake, shake, shake your menorah, put it up with pride. Tell Hamas, You can't run and hide. Show all the haters like AOC. You and the squad love the enemy. My menorah has candles, more candles than I can handle. It's displayed on my table to show Hamas we're ready and able. You're out of line, Hamas. You're out of time, Hamas. Israel's win, your loss. You're gonna pay a big cost. You're out of line, don't believe you. Hey, Sleepy Joe, don't believe you. Shake your menorah for the world to see. Israel, you're supporting, unlike NBC. Light all the candles, let them shine brightly, because soon Hamas will be history.
Oh, there's no place like jail for Kelly to stay. Alyssa Slotkin should be there too. Their sentencing will be a happy day, 'cause they broke the law and they will get their due. I'm watching Jason Crow on CNN. He is looking scared, trying hard to dodge the FBI. Miss Houlihan looked nervous. She was unprepared. I will be delighted when they're all indicted, 'cause there's no place like jail for those 6 to stay. In a cells where all of them should be. A court-martial, it could come any day. Lock Mark Kelly up and throw away the key.
Newsmax, you like Newsmax. I like it too.
I do too, yeah.
Newsmax has been terrific.
President Trump is right. Millions like you are tuning into Newsmax. You're watching Newsmax on cable. You're going to our streaming channel, Newsmax 2, and you're downloading our free Newsmax app on your smartphones and TVs. Every night, watch great shows with Rob Schmidt, Carl Higbie, Rob Finnerty, and more as they expose the big media lies, the Washington swamp, and they're never afraid to talk about faith, freedom, and the values that made us great.
Nope.
Find out why Newsmax is the fastest growing news channel in America. Make the switch today.
The Rob Carson Show podcast is everywhere. Go to Newsmax.com/listen for details.
Andy Wolf, who was shot, the National Guardsman. Yes. I visited him in the hospital yesterday. He's doing great. He's having conversations. It is amazing. He's been lifted up by the prayers of America.
Wow.
Thank you for the update. That is a Fox News alert we are happy to bring
Andrew
to
Wolf,
everyone.
the surviving National Guard member who was shot in Washington, D.C. just a couple of weeks ago, he's up and he's talking. That I would consider to be a Christmas miracle. Absolutely 100%. Pretty darned amazing. You know what else is kind of fun today? Fonnie Willis is testifying. She's testifying. And it's going about as well as you thought it would. Listen to this.
So it's your testimony today that you and Mr. Wade did not have any conversations.
Talking about how much money she spent on her gigolo. I mean, her fellow attorney. What is
prior to you taking office, relative to an investigation into the 2020 election.
Don't answer that. That is a deliberative privilege of what goes on in a district attorney's mind in the process of.
She wasn't district attorney.
She was.
Prior to being sworn in, she was district attorney?
Yeah, it's hard to be district attorney if you haven't been sworn in as district attorney.
No, she was not, but you asked.
he just looked at what the...
I'll return to my question. Prior to you being sworn in as district attorney, is it your testimony today that you did not have any conversation with Mr. Wade about investigating the 2020
Wade, he dove right in.
Election?
Do you want to answer?
It's a dumbass question.
She goes, it's a dumbass question.
question.
I know it is, but go ahead.
I know it is, but go ahead.
I've been telling because it occurred
Is that Jasmine Crockett?
after she took office, but go
I didn't know that he was going to commit a crime prior to me taking office. Like, factually, it's impossible.
Okay, thank you.
Wow, this is so fantastic. I know Jerry Springer's looking down from, well, maybe looking up from, but anyway, he's looking and he's going, damn, look what I did. Look what I started. Oh my God, it's so fantastic. It is just so fantastic. What do I want to do here? Yeah, okay. You know what I told you about what the Democrat Party was going to do in January, and this may be this may change. We'll see, because there are some movement, I think, with regard to the possibility of a compromise on health care. Democrats say they really don't want to because they're complete, D words for Richard. It says here, just in, the U.S. House advances a GOP health care bill that lets people buy insurance in groups to save money on premiums without Democrats' ACA subsidies extension for big rich insurance, and it was voted 213 to 209. So there is that. And here is Chuck Schumer gaming for another shutdown because they know that next year the big beautiful bill is going to kick in, and this economy is going to go into light speed. And you know why it's going into light speed? Because Donald Trump is doing everything to make an economy go into light speed. Okay, there's no doubt about it. And honestly, if you're an economist worth his salt or her salt or they salt or them salt, whatever the hell, then you would know this unless you're an absolute politico, because everything he's doing is bringing in manufacturing, which is ultimately going to result in a light speed economy like we haven't seen since Ronald Reagan.
Yes. You mentioned January 1st. There's also a January 30th deadline to fund the government. Do you have any expectation that Democrats might tie that to ACA like you did last time to try to get a result?
Look, as I said, it's on the Republicans that we have.
He is a gargoyle with osteoporosis.
Haven't had health care done. After January 1st, it's very, very hard to put it back in the bottom. Go ahead.
Here comes the money shot.
Get to you.
I appreciate it. Would you believe that vote to shut the government down on January 30th?
Shut the government down, yeah.
As I said, the bottom line is very simple, and that is that the way to solve this problem, because the toothpaste is already out of the tube, is get it done by January 1st. The Republicans, if they care so much and feel the heat, they should make sure we get...
They're going to try it again. They're going to try it again. That's going to work this time. It's not going to work. Because it didn't work the last time, you see. It didn't work. The shutdown backfired on the Democrat Party. It didn't impact Donald Trump's popularity whatsoever. And people understand that they're full of crap. The Democrat Party is absolutely full of crap. And so they're desperate. And so they're doing things like, saying Donald Trump and Stephen Miller are somehow worse than the Confederates.
Donald Trump and Stephen Miller want you to believe that this is who we are as a country.
What are you talking about? We're getting ready to go in the 250th year. We're patriotic. We love America. We stand during the national anthem.
And we are here to say that it is not. We are a country that has fought and defeated the Confederacy.
Okay.
That has defeated a history of civil rights violations.
Oh, yeah, it's more about becoming a more perfect union.
Police, of fascism.
Yeah. You call us fascists.
We are a country guided by a monument to freedom on the waters of New York City, who shines bright.
You guys wanted to tear down the statues of Columbus and every other historical monument in the country because you hate the country so damn much. And here's the most outrageous. This is Jasmine Crockett. Realize every time she talks, the entire world loses IQ points, saying that Trump and MAGA supporters are not patriotic.
You can wave all the flags you want to,
yeah, but
I am telling you right now that
we don't burn ours.
Unpatriotic people that we have in this country are MAGA and this president. We are...
Oh, my God, you're so full of crap. There's corn floating in your eyes.
The real patriots. And it is time for us to take our flag back and show people what America is
You said that America was never great.
About. You can't say that you love the Constitution while...
You said that we're a slave country. You hate America.
...decimating it with every single stroke of...
You're saying we're built on slavery and black people should get reparations for something that happened 170 years ago.
A pen for an executive order while decimating while you are disrespecting our troops that have signed up to protect our freedom, not just here but abroad. And then
oh my God, they're so bloody desperate. It's ridiculous as they're death spiraling into hell. I mean, they are death spiraling into hell, and they're trying to drag us kicking and screaming with them. They die like movie vampires. I told you this. Coming up, the chief of police in Washington, D.C. covered up violent crime to make her look better. And the crime stats went through the ceiling. Details on the other side. Don't go anywhere. My nightly ritual now is a little ice, a little vanilla yogurt, banana, a little milk, and a scoop of chocolate brownie Beams Dream Powder in the blender. A little while later, I hit the sack and I sleep until sunrise. It's amazing. These days, everything moves so fast, and it certainly can mess with your sleep schedule. That's why I'm here to tell you about Beams Dream Powder. It's a healthy nighttime blend packed with science-backed ingredients shown to improve sleep so you can wake up refreshed and ready to take on the day. Dream is made with a powerful blend of all natural ingredients including reishi, magnesium, L-theanine, apigenin, and melatonin. I've been using Beams Dream Powder for a year now, and I can honestly say I feel sharper, calmer, and more focused, and I'm not alone. Beam has improved over 28 million nights of sleep for people across the country. So if you've been waiting for the right time to try Dream, this is it. Go to shopbeam.com/Newsmax. Use code Newsmax and take advantage of my exclusive offer for 40% off. You can get their best-selling Dream Powder for just $39. So seriously, think about it. Go to shopbeam.com/Newsmax today.
Excess winning, he is thinning out the drug dealing trade. In the air, bombs are dropping on drug boats. Venezuelans, they are failing to get fentanyl through. And in most every ocean, you'll hear exploding boats, taking out all their drug shipments. But Duro sad, been hurt bad. Soon he will be overthrown. Bombing boats, their drug boats. More will be blown up today. She isn't running, and we're so grateful. That woman was oh so hateful. She's a national disgrace. That's Nancy with a Botox face. Her star was rapidly fading. She's as corrupt as can be. She made millions from insider trading. Where is the SEC? Nancy Pelosi was a lousy speaker. She tried to make our country weaker. I'm glad they will replace Miss Nancy with a Botox face.
I'll let him sing first. Come on, Michael. Sing it for me.
I'll have a blue Christmas without you.
His voice is velvet.
I'll be so blue.
Wow.
Just thinking
about you. All right. So, United States Attorney for the District of Columbia, Jeanine Pirro. Judge Jeanine, holy heck, she's the U.S. Attorney for D.C. Can you believe it? Pinch me. That's fantastic. Anyway, she investigated the Metropolitan Police Department. You know, they brought in the National Guard because D.C. had become such a crap hole. When I lived here 10 years ago, it wasn't so bad, but homeless encampments had taken over everywhere, and there were people with heroin needles sticking out of their arms, and every day there were dozens of carjackings and robberies, and you couldn't go outside. It was a crap hole. D.C. was a complete crap hole, and Joe Biden allowed it to happen. And Donald Trump said, "Now we're going to bring in the National Guard." And they started caterwauling, and they said, "Oh no, the crime is down. We don't need you. The crime is down. We don't need you." Well, no, not so much.
They had told us that crime dropped by 27%. We had heard Pete Buttigieg and others talking about how much safer D.C. felt when it didn't feel any safer at all. It actually went up 2% instead of down 27%. I mean, the scale.
That's a 29% difference, 30% difference lying about crime.
Of that, when you're talking about a large city like Washington, that is a massive scandal. I mean, how corrupt is the city that our federal government exists inside of?
I'm thinking doing something like that is illegal and somebody should go to friggin' jail. Isn't it about time we started seeing people going to jail? Isn't it about time we saw perp wops with handcuffs and orange jumpsuits? Isn't it about time? After a review of almost 6,000 reports in the interview of 50 witnesses, it is evident that a number of reports has been misclassified, making crime appear artificially lower than it was. I'll bet this is happening in Chicago. This is why they don't want the National Guard up there. Oh, no, we got it under control up here. We got it under control. Bull crap. The uncovering these manipulated crime statistics makes it clear that President Trump has reduced crime even more than originally thought, since crimes were actually higher than reported. His crime-fighting efforts have delivered even more safety to the District of Columbia. The detailed evidence of the MPD chief, Pamela Smith, a lefty Karen, actively pursued commanders to alter reporting crime practices. The findings are based on transcribed interviews with all 7 patrol district commanders, prioritized lowering publicly reported crime numbers over reducing actual crime, used her position to coerce staff into using lesser intermediate charges. So basically taking really serious charges and lowering them so their punishment was left and they'd be back on the street pretty quickly to commit more crime, which she would lie about. Yeah. Many of which were not publicly reported in order to present the illusion of safety. Certain crimes to be reviewed directly by her office, and cultivating a culture of fear, intimidation, threats, and retaliation. This is how Democrats do law enforcement. Multiple commanders testified that officers were reprimanded for reporting crime accurately and faced demotion or transfer for non-compliance. Wow, just wow. And here's the Muriel Bowser from Sha-Na-Na. No, she's not. She's not as cool as that. Muriel Bowser, the outgoing mayor, and Pete Buttigieg, the guy who was the transportation secretary and did nothing about transportation because he obviously is transphobic.
This is what you should know. I just got an update from my deputy mayor, and crime is down in all categories.
That's a complete lie.
In Washington, D.C., especially those categories that so troubled us last year. We've done the things that...
It's an absolute lie.
We know will reset our public safety ecosystem.
The simple facts and the simple reality are right here staring us in the face, including the fact that I can safely walk my dog to the Capitol today in a way that you couldn't do when we all got here.
Well, you're absolutely,
all a lie.
Absolutely full of crap. Thank you, Rob Schmidt, for throwing that in the air. Here's the former police chief who needs to go to jail.
The main difference between this new report and the one from the DOJ is transcribed interviews directly from high-ranking officers, all describing how Chief Smith allegedly chastised and in some cases humiliated them in crime briefings.
I can say this to you, Steve. I have never and will never authorize or even support any thought processes or activities with regards to crime numbers being manipulated. What I will say is that when it's brought to my attention, we will hold those members accountable.
Oh my God. These people have no shame at all whatsoever. Rob Schmidt from Newsmax.
How many criminals did D.C.'s police chief enable? The chief of police. Yeah. How many victims did she create in her desperation to create this illusion in her city? The tactic used...
For every Democrat governor or mayor around the country who's saying, oh, yeah, our crime is really down, I'll bet you $1,000. I'm not really talking to anybody individual, but you know what I'm saying. That they're lying to. Duh.
By Pamela Smith, the police chief in Washington, D.C.
Because they don't want federal law enforcement there. They don't want the National Guard there because they are hiding massive, massive, massive graft and corruption.
No different than any other tyrant in full control. Much like Democrats have in Washington, D.C. They can do these things in a place like D.C. because they're on autopilot. They're on auto repeat. Every election, they're going to win. Whoever the Democrat is, they're going to win.
Yeah, and usually those elections are rigged.
They never think they're going to be held accountable. Pamela Smith never imagined she'd have to face the music for this horrific behavior. Lying to the people, telling them they're safe when they're not.
Nope.
Just to protect her job and to protect...
I remember the first week, and I moved here, 5 months ago, 2 weeks later, brought in the National Guard. Then the caterwauling began and all that. And then the mayor left the city, and then the mayor decided wasn't going to be the mayor anymore. And I think she's running for cover right now. And I think Pamela Smith is left because she's doing the same thing, because hell has to come. And by the way, there are corruption charges against the mayor pending right now, and she's going to be brought up on charges. So, Donald Trump brought in the National Guard, made things safe. And I remember that first week of reporting when everybody was caterwauling about the National Guard coming to Washington, D.C., all the ABC, CBS, NBC, they're on there saying, oh my God, I can't believe he's weaponizing the government. He's going to start killing people and all of this. And people on the staff at ABC, they'd go to the reporter in the street and go, well, no, wait, actually, I know somebody who just was carjacked. I know somebody who's been carjacked multiple times. When I went to Georgetown a couple times, I've been robbed at gunpoint. And it just collapsed completely because everybody who's lived in Washington, D.C., either has become a victim of some sort of crime or knows somebody who's become a victim of crime. It's that pervasive.
Politics. In a city as corrupt and left as Washington, she never thought she'd have to face the music. But then Donald Trump became the president of the United States and just decided to take over her city. And everybody yelled and screamed at him for doing so. It was the right move. It was the move, I guess, that nobody saw coming.
And she decided to leave office. Isn't that convenient? That is just so convenient. Senator Mark Wayne Muller.
What you see is it doesn't fit their narrative. So the Democrats have this narrative that crime is down in blue cities, including Washington.
It's not. It's worse than ever in blue cities. It's down in Republican cities.
D.C., Chicago, L.A., Massachusetts, New York.
Imagine crime not being down in cities that defunded the police.
I mean, we can go through
God, you people are stupid.
The towns or the cities, and it's because they don't want to report the crimes. See, if they don't report it, then they can claim that the crimes are down. We knew that they were telling the law enforcement not to arrest these individuals. We knew that they were dropping felonies down to misdemeanors and misdemeanors to literally a slap on the wrist to show that crime was down. But all of us that have to
that's got to be illegal.
Work in the city or are unfortunate have to live in the city. We know
Union Station used to be an absolute piece of crap. There were homeless encampment across the street. You could not walk safely there at night.
That crime is up because we know what the city used to be like, and we know what we're dealing with today. And if crime was actually down, then we wouldn't have to have the National Guard walking the streets, which now that where the neighborhoods they walk in, Rob, you're seeing mothers out there with baby strollers again. You can actually walk down the streets in Washington, D.C. without having pot smell fall in your face, or the homeless population coming up and harassing you.
I remember that the first week I went down to D.C. and smelled weed everywhere. But the last 2 times I've been down there, I haven't smelled it hardly at all. It's kind of crazy. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show.
WCBM.
So you remember the final pennies that they minted? You know, they pressed out the final pennies because getting rid of the penny and all of that. And so, to those who argue the U.S. penny had no value, some coin collectors beg to differ. The U.S. Mint sold 232 3-cent sets for a whopping $16 million. Yeah, and then, of course, the 232nd set containing the last 3 pennies ever made sold for $800,000. And then they pressed one further penny. What did they make it out of? Gold. What do they? Gold. I just gave it to you. What did they make it out of? Gold. 24-karat gold. They made the last one out of 24-karat gold. You know why? Because gold is incredibly valuable. Oh, I'm just looking today. Just looking online. You know what gold is at today? It was at $4,308 yesterday. It's at $4,358 today. It just went up $50 an ounce since yesterday. If you had 10 ounces of gold, you'd have $500 more than you had yesterday. Silver's kicking butt too. Silver's up 120% this year. My gosh. This is the time for you to invest in gold. Birch Gold is the company that I choose. There are a million other radio people out there, and they're saying, buy this gold and that gold and this gold and that gold. I wonder how many actually have their money invested in those gold companies. Well, I do. Birch Gold, thank you very much. And right now you can get physical silver, an ounce of silver for every $5,000 in gold you invest. Might want to do it before gold is $5,000 an ounce, which is only $700 to $650 away. Wow. Unbelievable. The offer is good through the 22nd. It's the 17th, so you got 5 more days for free silver with gold. So what you need to do is just text my name, Rob, to 989898 to claim your eligibility for this offer. Again, text Rob to 989898 because Birch Gold's free silver with qualifying purchase ends again the 22nd of the month. All right. What are we going to go to next? I think we're going to talk about the drug boats. Yesterday was a big hearing on Capitol Hill. The Democrat Party is willing to be contrarian on anything, even if it means protecting narco-terrorists that have actually caused the death of hundreds of thousands of Americans. And this is without a doubt, they do this. They've taken the contrarian view on everything. They've fallen in love with narco traffickers and Maryland dads. They have taken the side of jihad. We just heard Debbie Wasserman Schultz say that Donald Trump is more of a danger than radical jihadis. That's how sick in the head these people are. But Americans aren't buying it. Americans love it. Oh, they love it. They love to watch narco boats explode. I do too, right? Every time I see every time a narco drug boat blows up, an angel gets his wings. Actually, hell's angels, because they're dead and they're going to hell.
It is the 22nd bipartisan briefing we've had on a highly...
This is Pete Hegseth. He's the Secretary of War. What is it good for?
Successful mission to counter designated terrorist organizations, cartels, bringing weapons.
And have caused the deaths of hundreds of thousands of Americans.
Weapons, meaning drugs, to the American people and poisoning the American people for far too long. So we're proud of what we're doing, able to lay it out very directly to these senators.
Yeah, but it isn't convincing a lot of senators like Tim Kaine from Virginia. I'm so embarrassed that he is the senator from the state I live right now. My God in heaven. And he says that those narco-terrorists, the surviving narco-terrorists who were delivering death to America. They were just struggling survivors.
I'd like to share with you my concerns about the individuals who've been killed, but I can't for the same reason.
It's classified.
I'd like to share with you my concerns about the second strike that killed struggling survivors clinging to the shipwreck on September 2. But I can't fully explain why this is so outrageous, because most...
That's not outrageous. You didn't care when Barack Obama was blowing the snot out of terrorists, thousands of them over in the Middle East and everything. Didn't matter. Here's Mark Kelly. They're gonna court-martial this guy for being one of the seditious six, and he says it wasn't fentanyl, it was just cocaine.
These boats...
Nobody ever dies of cocaine, John Belushi.
...carry... not fentanyl. I mean, they carry cocaine and these routes mostly take drugs to Europe and Western Africa. These operations are not making us more safe.
Oh, yeah, they're making us a hell of a lot more safe, and it is utterly, utterly ridiculous for you to think otherwise. And this is your party. This is your party. You are so fundamentally broken, intellectually and morally bankrupt. On the other side of the break, I'm going to play John Fetterman. He did an interview, and he said, no, we're perfectly within the law. It's actually a good thing. But first, here's Marco Rubio on the meeting yesterday.
Obviously, we had a classified hearing, so the details of which we can't discuss. It's, I believe, our 22nd or 23rd bipartisan engagement. Yep. We'll continue to engage with Congress on this. We're headed to the House now to do a similar briefing and provide updates on this counter-drug mission, which is focused on dismantling the infrastructure of these terrorist organizations that are operating in our hemisphere.
And if Joe Biden or whoever was pulling his strings were doing this, the Democrat Party would be absolutely fine with it, because they were absolutely fine with it when Barack Obama did it, and he did it 30 times the number, 40 times the number. And the American people love it when bad guys get their asses blown off. So what an idiotic take. Just what a completely moronic, once again, another, the next best thing, the next thing is blowing up in their faces. Yesterday it was Rob Reiner and Donald Trump's criticism of Rob Reiner, who savaged Donald Trump for a decade, and that was the next thing. And before that it was something else, and this one's going to blow up too, and nobody really cares. And John Fetterman has some thoughts on the other side of the break that defend the president, and we'll do that in a second. Let's take a break. This is the Rob Carson Show. There's a lot of politicians that should be getting coal in their stockings. Let's see who's streaming. All right, Brian was just clicking me to remind me to talk to the streamer. All righty, Eric Bauer. What is it, Eric Bauer? Top corrupt U.S. president historical consensus. You're an idiot. Eric, you're an idiot. The impeachments were not, nothing was proven. They were fake. Joe Biden was the most corrupt, $25 million from the Chinese Communist Party. His son was corrupt. He took classified documents, and he got out of being prosecuted because he had pudding for brains. Honestly, you got to do better than that. You're a buffoon. Tim Gaughan, hello. Tim Gaughan, what's going on? Linda Andrew, Wasserman is loca. Deborah Wasserman, she looks like a labradoodle at the groomers that they haven't blown out. It probably smells. Where are your new glasses, Rob? Oh, I've got several pair. These are just readers. I have prescription glasses, but these are just readers. I've got several pair. I just kind of shake it up. I didn't need glasses until like 8 years ago, 10 years ago. It sucks. I hate them. Let's see. Valentina, what's going on? Linscat, hello. What up? Tom K. Good to see you, Dookie Bear. Got the Rob Carson fan page up and going over on the Facebook. If you get a chance to join the Rob Carson fan page, I'm honored, by the way. It's very flattering. Really, I mean it. Not joking. Really flattering. Thank you. Mickey Hastings, Deplorable Dinosaur. What up, America? Marcy over on the YouTubeage. Hope you're enjoying the show. Got a lot of things to get to. Ron Cole Art, you're new. All right, here we go. Yeah, okay.
This idea, some things out in the media, it's kind of putting out this
that the military is just picking off, any boat that comes across. That's just not true. I mean, there's extensive intelligence, and they know exactly who's on that boat, and they know what's actually on that boat right now. And it's quite frequently they decline to take it and to move on those things. When they move on those kinetic kinds of strikes, they have absolute confidence that who's on it and what's on it, and that's exactly what it's about. They're not just going around randomly just shooting boats and those things. That's just not the fact.
Yeah, and they get the largest flotilla off the coast of Venezuela. The Democrats hate it because Donald Trump is kicking ass. This is the latest. Trump designates Venezuela's government as a terrorist regime, orders blockade of sanctioned oil tankers. Kaboom! For the theft of our assets and many other reasons, including terrorism, drug smuggling, human trafficking, the Venezuelan regime has been designated a foreign terrorist organization. Therefore, today, I am ordering a total and complete blockade of all sanctioned oil tankers going into and out of Venezuela. There you go. Isn't it nice to have a president who has cojones? More from John Fetterman, Democrat senator.
A total and complete blockade of all sanctioned oil tankers going in and out until they return what they stole from us. What did they steal, and what do you make of this?
Yeah, well, what makes it is that Iran is involved on that, and Russia's involved on that, and China as well, too. I mean, a lot of these things, that's sanctioned oil right now, and those are the kinds of funds that support regimes like in Iran as well, too. And now, absolutely, right now, it's not a plan to like a land war and invade Venezuela and that, but seizing those kinds of oil tankers, and it's undeniable that that's oil that's going to support Iran, and those are the kinds of funds that are used, all kinds of illicit things, so terrorism.
But the Democrats hate Donald Trump so much that they would rather bed down with Iran. What about Donald Trump acting without the war powers?
Senator, why were you not willing to go along with Senator Rand Paul, a Republican obviously, and other Democrats with his war powers resolution to require the president to come and make a show to the Congress before continuing with unilateral military plans and actions?
I think what's happening right now is consistent. I think that, to me, it's not unreasonable to compare that to what President Obama's been doing, during
Shut the front door!
His presidency, and he was using drone hits, and he took out thousands of people and terrorists. And I, of course, if I was
between 600 and 800 civilians
in the Senate at that time, I would have supported those as well too. That's the president, and you have some kind of discretion and kinds of things. Now, I don't think anyone in the Senate would support like a full-on land invasion or putting American boots on.
There you go, the voice of common sense of the Democrat Party, the lone wolf out there. Coming up, the shocking, absolutely idiocy of the leadership of Providence, Rhode Island, and Brown University. Stick around.
about to hear the most interesting, informative, thought-provoking, and funny show in America. On air and on the World Wide Web. This is the Rob Carson Show.
This is the Rob Carson Show, hour number 2 of the radio program. Chris Salcedo, Newsmax only liberty-loving Latino, joins us at the bottom of the hour. He's always awesome to talk to. He's a good friend of this here radio program. It is Christmas week, so I think we need a little Christmas music. Apropos of nothing other than the fact that only this show does it. The only show in America to do this level of satire. This one right here. Jim Gossett, people.
Winning and winning and never losing. Results that drive Nancy Pelosi to boozing. Chris Christie choking on buffalo wings. These are my favorite conservative things.
Mine too.
Gas prices falling.
They are.
Inflation dropping.
It is.
To our momentum, there is no stopping. An end to 8 wars. What joy that brings. These are a few of my favorite things. Reducing spending, securing the border, restoring faith in law and order, arresting a punk at a no kings. These are my favorite conservative things. When Chuck Schumer makes me nauseous, when I'm feeling sad, I simply remember we're bombing drug folks, and that I don't feel so bad.
There you go, Jim Gossett. Put that together with the voice of the president, and there you go. If you want to help out Jim, go to patreon.com, Jim Gossett Comedy. If you would like to help him out, it would be such a blessing. Oh, by the way, and my TV show is Rob Carson's What in the World? And it is on Sunday nights following Dr. Michael Savage show, exactly where you'd expect to find a comedy show. That said, this weekend, another regular show. And then the next weekend, we're going to be doing a Christmas show. And then the next weekend, we're doing a best of show for the entire year. And both of them are absolutely outstanding. If you get a chance to set your DVR and whatnot, it is called Rob Carson's What in the World on Newsmax. And Donald Trump says, that makes me the funniest man on television. Oh, and by the way, I'm going to be off next week and the week after. It's only like 6 vacation days, but I need the time off, and we will not be streaming the show in that time. I know, you're going to miss seeing my face. I know, you'll just have to go to my OnlyFans page, which gets no traffic. It's weird. No traffic at all. Actually, I don't have one. I'm just kidding. But anyway, that said, it's not going to be streaming next week. Mary Walter's going to be filling in for a good amount of the time while I drive across the country and just kind of chill, just kind of relax, reconnect with the family, reconnect with the kids and the dogs. I kind of feel like I've been deployed. You want to know what percent of Brown University students are conservative? You want to guess? 10%? No, it's much less. Is it 5%? No. Is it 2%? No, 1%? No, it's less than that. 0.8% of Brown University students identify as conservative. That's how monolithic the left is in that town, and the town is run by a bunch of woke idiots. We'll get to that in 1 second. Wait till you hear the Mayor Smiley. Oh my God, okay. Bondi Beach. The shooters were able to shoot for 10 minutes, reload their guns again and again, until the police finally arrived with handguns, and it took a guy unarmed to tackle the gunman and take away his gun. Okay. These idiots, no cameras on the back of the building where this guy went in to kill 2 people and injure another 9, walks out, no good camera footage, and the trail is going cold because they're a bunch of woke DEI morons. The chief of police is a woke DEI moron. Ella Cook was part of that 0.8%. She was the leading campus Republican.
leading some to believe that she was targeted. Rob Finnerty last night on Newsmax did a sterling job covering the story and expressing the truth.
This is now beyond parody at this point. But here we are, Tuesday night, day number 4 of the investigation. 11 people are shot in the engineering building in a city, and instead of doing everything possible to try and track down the killer, the investigation is being run by people who are more concerned with DEI than they are with finding the killer.
Yeah.
Here's someone telling Oscar Perez, the police chief, also a Colombian immigrant, which normally wouldn't be relevant, but it is tonight, we'll show you why, not to use the word custody when describing the suspect they had in custody at that time. Suggesting, again, during a live press conference, that maybe he use a different word like detained.
Releasing this 10-second clip to now someone's in custody, kind of how you all are working together to garner that information.
Custody is the wrong word. Okay, custody's the wrong word. Did you hear that? He says custody's the wrong word.
Custody, kind of how you all are working together to garner that information.
Custody is the wrong word.
Someone being detained, rather.
Correct. And so, someone being detained, it led us to that point as far as like...
He's not custody. He's not in custody. He's being detained. Oh, my God. And here is this police chief. I swear to God, Keystone Cop.
So the video that we showed you came from inside the building, and that's all we had at the moment. That's all we have at this moment. Correct.
Inside the engineering building, though?
I'm sorry? It's from the outside of the building.
From the outside, so do you have video footage
Yes.
inside the engineering building?
Both inside and outside. I'm sorry, just outside. That's all we have, not inside. No. I'm sorry, just outside.
Are they going to be released anytime soon, unless from inside the building?
That was released already. That was the outside of the building. We already released that.
Talking about the cameras inside or outside, he has no freaking clue.
Let me just jump here and clarify. Okay, so there is, for those of you who've been with us before, and I understand not all of you have been, there is video inside the building. There are cameras inside the building. What we have released to you are videos.
Wow, that's the Rhode Island AG, Peter Nerona, jumping in there because the chief of police looks like a complete moron because he's a complete moron. Here's Rob Finnerty. Because the shooter said something. Everybody knows this. And the first day, I remember the first day of the shooting, somebody said Allahu Akbar, which means God is great. That's usually, it's always what Islamic terrorists do before they start murdering people. And that was originally reported. I'm not saying it's what was said, because nobody is confirming, but nobody's given them a clue, even though there are plenty of witnesses, including all the people in the classroom who survived. And for some reason, they are not sharing the information.
The shooter, the man who killed 2 people, also apparently yelled something just before he opened fire, but no one in charge of this investigation wants to tell the public what he yelled because the woke mayor of Providence, Rhode Island, and the DEI police chief don't want to offend anybody. They don't want to offend anybody, meaning both the mayor of Providence and the chief of police there are more comfortable risking the lives of more innocent people instead of telling the public what the killer shouted, which could help with the investigation.
Yeah, it would.
There's a report the shooter yelled something right before his shot came in. Can you tell us what that was?
Yeah, it's part of the investigation, John, and
Now, the only reason I asked that, though, is, for instance, like with the Unabomber, his brother recognized the writing. So it's possible a friend or family member might recognize if the person said something that was significant.
Correct.
That's why you don't, other than the 9mm, is there anything else inside that auditorium that you could tell us?
No, that's correct. And listen, like I said earlier, investigations will bring us to evidence that we need to collect in order.
Okay. Evidence, investigation will bring us closer to evidence. Okay, well, duh. Mark Halperin, in his podcast, says that he is hearing from his sources, and he has sources, that it was a targeted killing.
I don't know that any news organization has reported this, but I've been besieged with messages from people who are really concerned about the report. And again, I believe in being transparent here. If I were editing the New York Times, I don't think I'd put it in the paper. But people are telling me that the family of Ella Cook, the Alabama young woman who was a sophomore, has been told that she was the target of what happened at Brown. I have no idea whether that's true. There's other theories about why the person did what they did, but now that we don't know who the assailant is, it's going to be harder to say. But if it's true that she was targeted, that's a big story because she was one of the most visible conservatives on that campus.
On a campus that's 0.8% conservative.
Don't know that it's true, but probably most of you don't even know that's being alleged because you'd have to follow certain accounts on X or have sources, as I do, who are telling me that.
Now, the Rhode Island AG, Peter Nerona, was asked about a pro-Palestine activist whose Brown University profile was mysteriously scrubbed yesterday, Mustafa Karbouch. His name was, it just suddenly disappeared. Just suddenly disappeared. He was asked, why was it just suddenly disappeared all of a sudden?
Question about that name, and I know the name that you're asking about because a member of the media asked me about it. I am familiar with it. I wasn't familiar with it when the media member asked me about it. I think it was either CBS or NBC. I asked my team about it, and I think this is an area where caution is really necessary. There are lots of reasons why a page might be taken down, particularly if there's chatter out there about, to your question, Amanda, about words that were spoken. It's easy to jump from someone saying words that were spoken to what those words are.
Yeah, how about telling us what the friggin' words were?
To a particular name that reflects a motive targeting a particular person.
Yeah, Mustafa Karbouch.
That's a really
Palestinian, pro-Palestinian activist on campus.
Dangerous road to go down.
Really?
Really dangerous.
So's ignorance.
If that
so's DEI.
Name meant anything to this investigation, we would be out looking for that person. We would let you know we were looking for that person.
No, I don't think you would because you're not telling us anything else.
You know, again, I think it's just a really dangerous road to go down. I know that in today's age, there are lots of things that people read into things. It's just a dangerous thing to do. And
if you didn't leave so much in the open and you weren't so inept, people wouldn't ruminate on things like this.
We'll leave it to us to identify.
Oh, my God.
By persons of interest and let us run them down.
You're begging people for leads because you have no clue.
What the public can do for us today is help us figure out who this guy is. And we hope to have more information out that will help you do that, help us do that.
You know, nothing against the people of Rhode Island, but there's a reason why nobody hears anything from leaders in Rhode Island. I think we get it now. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show.
I've got a crush on you, Mom Donnie. You're a communist, just like me. Private business, we oppose it. A takeover, we will propose it. Seize your house. Take your car. Zoran Mamdani is our new star. The world will pardon my mush, but I have got a crush, Mamdani, on you. Testify about Jeffrey Epstein, but I've got lots to cover up, if you know what I mean. They'll ask me about the island, on what went on down there. I could go and tell the truth, but I wouldn't dare. I am dodging subpoenas, and so is my wife. We will try to dodge them for the rest of our lives. We are dodging subpoenas. Comer says we'll fail. 'Cause if we keep on dodging, he will send us to jail. We are dodging subpoenas, could find us in contempt from prosecution. We are not exempt. We are dodging subpoenas because we are afraid.
A fun rejoin.
Ooh, I love it.
The media and our friends in the Democrat Party kept saying we needed new legislation. We must have legislation to secure the border. But it turned out that all we really needed was a new president.
Yeah, baby. Cue some Alice in Chains. Come on. Love it. So I got to take a break from the Christmas music every once in a while. Rock and rock. Thank you very much. So you want to hear Mayor Smiley of Providence, Rhode Island? You know, nobody gives a crap how you feel in times of crisis, okay? But this is the tack that liberals always try to do because it's more important how they feel than if they act.
It's starting to get very personal for our community.
You know, I don't think it's as personal as the two victims' families feel that it's personal, or the survivors who were injured. So who cares?
Which is hard. And that's, I think, where we are.
This is what Democrats do. They emote. And they think that emoting is an accomplishment. They think that meetings are an accomplishment, even though they don't bear any fruit.
Sort of emotionally in the process, but we're here for one another. That's the scary side. The upside is that this is a tight-knit community that looks out for one another. The governor was there. All the officials.
I don't need a hug. Find the damned killer.
Who are up here with me tonight were with us at Lippert Park last night.
Oh, you had a candlelight vigil. That'll accomplish much as the killer is on the loose.
10 degrees. It was loosely organized, and yet hundreds of people came out because they wanted to be with one another.
We're not here for group therapy. Okay, we're not here for friggin' group therapy. I don't give a crap about you and your feelings and your friggin' candlelight vigil. The killer is still on the loose. Why would you have a candlelight vigil while the killer is still on the loose? Go run a wine and cheese store. You know, go whatever. But you didn't be a mayor of a city, for God's sake. Oh, Carolyn Wren is a Republican strategist and pundit, and here is what she's hearing.
That means that there are, at least they said somewhere around 40 students who are in there who could confirm what this.
Yeah, they got to figure out what the killer shouted because the authorities won't say what he shouted because they're covering up something, because that's what DEI people do when they're trying to cover up a narrative. See, if it were a white man who walked in and shot her, just a white guy, maybe a Christian, we already know everything about him.
Man shot. At least 5 students that I have seen have confirmed on the record in media interviews saying that he yelled "Ali Akbar." Well, I think that that's pretty relative information.
Yeah.
I think that would matter as there's a massive search for the shooter. Did he yell Allahu Akbar? Because then we should be looking for a, free Palestine terrorist. And Reddit yesterday, by the way, had to shut down the Brown University board because Free Palestine students were celebrating Ella Cook's death.
Free Palestine students were celebrating Ella Cook's death. Charlie Kirk was murdered on campus, too. I swear to God. I swear to God. John DePetro is an independent journalist looking at the case and how it's not going anywhere.
So 4 o'clock, and he pretty calmly then just, briskly walks down the street. Now, the sirens should have gone off. They didn't go off. Instead, it's then bedlam and chaos as they're trying to evacuate and go through the buildings. They didn't know if they had other victims in some of these buildings. If you're that individual, by, late into the night, someone could have been long gone, and then on Sunday, the university announced the students could then leave for winter break. So if you're that shooter, you could easily have taken an Uber to either Logan, which is an hour away, or Kennedy, which is a couple hours away. Then it snowed overnight on Sunday, so then
that's good.
Any DNA on the ground is then covered and bitter cold. This is
wow.
The shooter caught, I believe, a lot of breaks. The police. This is a very difficult case, and I can tell you right now, they do not have anyone on their radar.
Unbelievable. I mentioned earlier that those last pennies that they minted, because the pennies are no more, right? They sold for 232 3-penny sets, sold for $16.7 million. The last 3 pennies ever made sold for $800,000. The last penny they pressed was made of 24-karat gold. Because gold is the standard. Gold is the metric of value that we see when you notice it. It's in King Tut's tomb. What's the most important thing in King Tut's tomb? It's that funerary mask that's made of gold. It's gold. It's what treasure seekers look for. I used to watch all those documentaries when I was a kid about treasure. The Spanish galleon sinking. What were you looking for? You're looking for gold. You're looking for gold. And gold is going through the ceiling in value. The Spaniards never dreamed it could be worth this much. Today it's worth $4,358. It was worth $4,300 yesterday. It's gone up $50 in value one day. It may stall. It stalled for a couple of weeks at about $4,000, and now it's on the way back up again. Maybe you better get on it before it goes over $5,000. Maybe you need to also invest in silver because silver's gone through the ceiling too. That's why you need to contact Birch Gold now. Text my name, Rob, to 989898. You're going to get, with every $5,000 invested in Birch Gold, you get a free 1 ounce of silver, a silver round that you can give to the kids, put it in the advent calendar, make it a Hanukkah gift, make it a Christmas gift, keep it for yourself, doesn't matter. I carry mine in my pocket in a velvet pouch. I do, just like Mr. Scrooge. Maybe I'll drop it in a Salvation Army kettle. Who the heck knows? I might just do that. Text my name, Rob, to 989898 for Birch Gold, 989898 to claim your eligibility for this offer, which ends on the 22nd, which is coming up pretty darn quickly. So there you go, Birch Gold, 989898. One of my favorite people in the world, Chris Salcedo of the Chris Salcedo Show on Newsmax. Our liberty-loving Latino joins us next. Don't go anywhere. My nightly ritual now is a little ice, a little vanilla yogurt, banana, a little milk, and a scoop of chocolate brownie Beams Dream Powder in the blender. A little while later, I hit the sack and I sleep until sunrise. It's amazing. These days, everything moves so fast, and it certainly can mess with your sleep schedule. That's why I'm here to tell you about Beams Dream Powder. It's a healthy nighttime blend packed with science-backed ingredients shown to improve sleep so you can wake up refreshed and ready to take on the day. Dream is made with a powerful blend of all natural ingredients, including reishi, magnesium, L-theanine, apigenin, and melatonin. I've been using Beams Dream Powder for a year now, and I can honestly say I feel sharper, calmer, and more focused, and I'm not alone. Beam has improved over 28 million nights of sleep for people across the country. So if you've been waiting for the right time to try Dream, this is it. Go to shopbeam.com/Newsmax. Use code Newsmax and take advantage of my exclusive offer for 40% off. You can get their best-selling dream powder for just $39. So seriously, think about it. Go to shopbeam.com/Newsmax today.
Rent-free in libs' heads I'm living. The fits I am giving to Whoopi, Sunny, and Joy. Rent-free I'm occupying. Rosie is lying if she says I'm not in her head. Break free, they simply can't do it. When you get down to it, they have TDS real bad. Hatred, just watch it as it spreads, because inside their heads I live.
If you're illegal alien in the United States, this message is for you. You cannot hide from ICE.
Avoiding ICE ain't easy. Illegals are so sleazy. Tom Holman set them straight. To ICE should be reporting. You should be self-deporting. Leaving will be your fate. Back home is where you're headed. That's safe to say, and you won't make a stop along the way. No longer can you stay here. You've seen your final day here, 'cause you've committed crime. Avoiding ICE ain't easy. It is far from easy. Avoiding ICE ain't easy anytime.
Here we go.
3, 2, 1.
Feliz Navidad.
Come on.
Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Próspero año y felicidad.
Ladies and gentlemen, I give you
Feliz Navidad.
a Christmas gift today.
Feliz Navidad.
A little early. It is the great Chris Salcedo, the liberty-loving Latino from Newsmax, joining us on the Newsmax Hotline. How are you today, sir?
My man, I'm doing great. Fighting a cold, but other than that, great.
I'm very fortunate. I haven't had one yet. But yeah, Zycam. Have you done Zycam?
Say again?
Zycam. Have you done Zycam?
No, you know what? Somebody sent me this this nasal immunomist thing that's out there that's supposed to be the newest rage. I think it's probably a lot of the same elements inside of Zycam.
Yeah. I'm sure it probably has the same minerals and whatnot. How you been, by the way, my friend?
Been very well. Thank you kindly. The new book is out.
I know. I was fascinated by this. And by the way, it's on my nightstand. Thank you very much. I try to make it through about a chapter every night because I have the attention.
Well, there you go,
dude. I have the attention span of a fruit fly. It'll take me a year to get through that book.
Well, it's not that long. You know, it's having my mug staring at you every night. That's just I don't know, man. That's enough to cause nightmares in a lot of people out there.
Well, I think it's an interesting perspective. Your book is called The Rise of the Liberty-Loving Latino, and we always talk about the Latino vote and how the Democrat Party has slavishly relied on Hispanics to vote Democrat. And I started saying, as they opened the southern border, that why would Hispanics be down with girls getting sex changes and boys becoming girls to compete with girls and be so pro-abortion and so anti-family? It was the antithesis of the Hispanic family.
It was and is and still and remains. And you know, why would Latinos and Hispanics support what the Democrats did to 320,000 illegal alien children?
Yes.
Selling them, literally, our government, Rob, turned into pimps.
I know.
Under Beijing Biden, the Democrats turned taxpayer-funded pimps and turned over these kids to known sex slavers and forced labor into the United States. And Democrats were like, yeah, this is humane. This is what we Democrats are all about, selling children into sex slavery. And many Latinos said, no, not in my name. No thanks.
Well, and then also the trail of tears coming from South America, resulting in the deaths of thousands. And I heard early on along the Darien Gap that the buzzards were so fat they could barely fly, and I'm not kidding. That's what I heard. And many died there while enriching mules, while enriching drug lords. I mean, what an absolute tragedy. And the Democrat Party looked the other way. Kamala Harris, she said it was climate change. Alejandro Mayorkas is gone, nowhere to be found. I want the son of a bee to be brought up on charges. I want a military tribunal for him.
Absolutely. I'm right there with you. You know what? And that's the one thing missing so far from the Republican-controlled Congress, from the Trump administration, is accountability for what Democrats did to us, for the crimes the Democrats committed against us. There seems to be an impetus among the establishment Republicans, hey, we can't get into too many investigations. That might lead us back to a Democrat. We wouldn't want that now, would we?
Bullcrap. You know, I was thinking early on, and we recognized this tragedy in real time. There was a movie called Sound of Freedom. Remember that came out with Jim Caviezel in 2023? And everybody went to see it. The Democrat Party tried to shut it down. It ended up being a blockbuster, talking about child sex trafficking. Unbelievable. But back to being, the changing mindset of Latinos. I don't remember exactly what I think it was 48% of Hispanic males voted for Donald Trump. I have heard, and you keep hearing this echoed from Democrats, I don't know if it's true, that Hispanics are turning away from Donald Trump because of his deportation policies. Do you believe that?
No. I do believe that around the edges, because the biased press and the left-wing press has been out there trying to classify what is being done as something that's untoward, and that all of these stories about American citizens being rounded up, it's like none of it's happening. Ilhan Omar claiming my son was pulled over.
Yeah, that was a lie.
I'm like, wait a minute, there's no record of your son being pulled over, and those lies,
no proof at all,
do have an impact on the fringe. And you know what? If the Republicans aren't careful to show the results, which is what they should be doing, that could become something that's more ingrained.
Yeah.
But this idea that Latinos are like, oh yeah, well, we don't want the destruction of our communities, which is why so many of those communities along the Rio Grande, along the Texas-Mexico border, flipped from blue to red in the last election. The fact that now we're just going to go back to the Democrats who flooded this country with millions of unvetted illegals, ruining our communities in the process. that we're just going to forget about all of that because we see a couple of sensational headlines. I think the Democrats don't give us enough credit, and these pollsters. You know what? I couldn't give you two spits for some of these pollsters because they're not out there reflecting public opinion. They're out there trying to form it.
Well, it's interesting. Yesterday, the biggest story in the entire country, which now is fading fast, was Donald Trump's comments about Rob Reiner, who savaged him for a decade, called him a rapist, racist, Nazi, said he was, did everything he could to get Donald Trump impeached, in jail over Russia collusion, all of that. And Donald Trump had nothing to say in his passing. Whoopi Goldberg would cheer when Donald Trump passes. And that was the biggest story in the world. And NBC was reporting that 50% of MAGA supporters have left Donald Trump. And I said, that's a bunch of crap. We went through 91 charges, 5 trials, political indictments, 2 assassination attempts, 2 impeachments, a raid on Mar-a-Lago. We aren't leaving because he truthed about Rob Reiner.
Yeah, you know what? You just actually read my mind. That is my preamble today on the Chris Salcedo Show. We're addressing this, and we're going to take the Democrats down a little trip down memory lane to remind them what they do when our icons, like the great Rush Limbaugh, pass, or when Charlie Kirk was assassinated, or when individuals shot at our president. We're going to remind everybody of what true celebration of violence is all about, and it rests solely, exclusively on the Democrat side.
It does, and I always get these moral relativists who say that they said for a while there that there was violence coming from the right and the left, and you saw, I think it might have been you had a graph, could have been Rob Schmidt. I get you good-looking guys all confused and everything, but it was like 97% violence from the left and 3% from the right, if there are any at all, and it is ultimate. I always say that they result in moral relativism when they have no argument or no intelligence. And in the Democrat Party, that's the case with most people, both counts. Yes. Can you hold on through the break, my friend?
Sure.
I want to get your thoughts on a number of things that are in the news. It's another hot news day again. Chris Salcedo, the book is called The Rise of the Liberty-Loving Latino. You should get it. It is available on Amazon. I actually have 2 copies. I'm waiting for one to be autographed. We will cover more with Chris in a second on The Rob Carson Show.
A racist in the White House. We have a sexist in the White House, and he is tearing away at the fabric of our democracy.
The single most unqualified human being to ever assume the presidency of the United States. He's mentally unfit.
People always say, you know, he could redo All in the Family. I said, what do you mean? We're living it. We've got Archie in the White House.
Yeah, that is Rob Reiner, and here is The View.
He just normalized hatred. He normalized...
Talking about Rush Limbaugh.
Racism. And, you know, I think he really weaponized white male grievance. And you know, he sort of hardened these, like, rural white listeners, people, you know, sitting in their trucks.
Sonny Hostin having no idea what Rush Limbaugh was all about. But this is a double standard. My friend Chris Plant always says if there were no double standards, if there weren't double standards, then liberals would not have standards at all. And that's just the way it is. And the Rob Reiner story, it is a tragedy. I admired a good part of his work, but he was not a kind person. I mentioned yesterday on air, Chris Salcedo, by the way, on the Newsmax Hotline, that if you were, you know, I'd feel differently too if I were savaged for a decade by everybody, 98% negative coverage of the news, the assassination attempts, the trials, and all of the evil things that Rob Reiner and others said. I don't think I'd be, first in line to send flowers to his memorial service.
No, and you know what? If you look at what the president said, what did he say? It was a sad thing.
Yeah.
He wished them to rest in peace. The only thing that could be halfway interpreted as the president making light of the tragic death is where he said that, and we don't know. We have no idea what played the role in the accused murderer stabbing these two people. We don't know if the Trump derangement factored into it at all. But that's the only thing that could be called into question. But to call it celebrating the death of Rob Reiner, as we pointed out that what's his name, Keith Olbermann, tried to say that's not celebrating anything.
Olbermann is mentally ill. Olbermann is mentally ill.
Olbermann, yes, he is. He is a mentally deranged leftist who has no acquaintance with truth or facts, and his worldview. I mean, seriously, there's got to be some serious narcotics, or just a couple of wires loose to make him see a world the way he sees it.
You know, if he were to be visited by three spirits, the first spirit would arrive and go, you know, I think now it's too late. I'm out of here. I am so out of here. Yeah. Forget it, because he's a nutbag. And what's her name? Kathy. What's her name? The comedian, the red-haired comedian that looks just like hell lately. Kathy. What's her name? Brian Griffin. Yeah, Kathy Griffin. Yeah. She's bananas. I mean, and she looks bananas too. Just absolutely gone. Absolutely gone. Chris, I got to tell you, I'm working on my book. Your book is The Rise of the Liberty-Loving Latino, A New American Revolution, which, by the way, I'm going to get the audiobook because I'm driving across the country. And I'm going to be leaving on Saturday, 6 hours, 28 minutes. I could listen to your voice for 6 hours and 28 minutes between, truck stop burritos.
I don't even know. Yeah, exactly. I think that might just get you where you're going.
All right, I might have to do that. But my book is Hillbillies, Homeboys, and Hebrews coming together. And you can add Hispanics and handgun owners and homemakers coming together to save America. And Chris, I think, we've been talking about 80-20 issues. And before the election, I said 80% of us believe the country is going in the wrong direction. 80% of us can come together to fix it. And I believe that 80% of this population loves our country. They may disagree on, whatever, and you may hate Trump, whatever, but I know a lot of people want the country to come together. So I think saving the country is at least an 80-20 issue. And as far as those 20%, screw them. Deport the crap out of them, particularly if you're Somali in Minnesota and you're not here legally. Bye-bye. I think we've reached a point where we're tired of people coming here and bad-mouthing the country and trying to change the country. You come here because you love the country and you want to assimilate.
You've seen this douchebag that's on X. He is allegedly a Somalian who is saying, go to work for me, white girl, white boy. Go to work so I can sit here for free on my EBT card. And, you go out there, and he uses a lot of nasty language to berate white people in the United States. Yeah, go out and work for me, white person, he says, so you can serve me. Your U.S. government serves me. You know, go out there and do that, you white savages, he says.
Wow.
That's what he says.
Wow.
It's on X. We put it up on the Salcedo Show X page, at C Salcedo Show, if folks want to check it out. We put the unedited version, but you're going to have to, if your producers get it, you're going to have to get a couple of bleeps in there, because as is typical of these leftists, not only do they hate America, not only are they racist, in this particular case against white people, but they're also vile and vulgar, and you'll have to hit the bleep button.
Well, we're just done. You know, I think we're done with it, Chris. And really, we're done with this. We're done with radical Islam. We are done with it. We're freaking done with it, Chris. And I like to say that the left exposes its flank so we can kick its ass, and they are. They're exposing where the anti-Semitism is. They're exposing where the fraud is, and now we can and where they're going to find that guy. And if he's illegal, he's going to be gone, and we're going to make an example out of him for sure. Listen, we are running out of time, unfortunately. What are you doing for the Christmas holiday, my friend?
I am hosting. I got the kids, all the kids coming home.
I love
I'm
it,
pretty
bro.
happy about that.
I love it.
And I plan on praise God being over this cold by then, and sitting back and waiting for the fat man. So,
absolutely.
A Merry Christmas to you, my friend.
Brother.
I can't tell you. Look, folks, just really quick, I want to tell you about this man that you were listening to. A man that I've grown to love and appreciate. His passion, his love for our country, his talent, and the fact that you would have me on to talk about a book that's really, it bears my moniker. So it's personal. And God's blessings to you, my friend. It's really appreciated.
Brother, back at you more than you'll ever know. I knew the first time I met you, I was like, this guy is all right, and I know I'm going to be your friend for life. Absolutely, 100%. Unless you become a radical leftist, then I'll have to kick your butt.
Not going to happen. Not doing it.
All right, The Rise of the Liberty-Loving Latino, A New American Revolution. Get the book. I am going to listen to it across country, brother. God bless you. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to you and yours.
Merry Christmas, my friend.
All right, let's take a break and come back. This is The Rob Carson Show. I'm very lucky to know people like that. Very, very lucky to know Chris. I meet a lot of really cool people. He's one of them. Let's see. Lost a scarecrow. Lost a son to drugs. Who's this? Of Chris's book. Haven't read it yet. I'm just reading here. Americans wouldn't be America without All in the Family. All in the Family was a great show. It was a really good show. It was a Norman Lear production. It was a flaming liberal, but it was a really good movie. And you know that the Jeffersons, George Jefferson, was the Black Archie Bunker. He was created to be the Black Archie Bunker. And you could use Rachel for pejoratives, and it didn't matter. My dad, at his workplace, they had a Hispanic guy and a black guy, and nobody used the N-word. But they call each you're a whatever, you're a spick, you're a wop, whatever. It was ridiculous, but that's what they did. It was like, if you don't believe me, watch the Clint Eastwood movie Ford Torino. It was Gran Torino. That's how his generation talked. It didn't because you hated one another. It's just because you were making fun of those words. What's an Irishman? I don't know. You're a crowd if you're a German, whatever. I could say that because I'm German and Irish and English. So, all of those things. Let's see what else here. Rocco, 4578. Good to see you. I don't know who you are. I haven't seen you on there before, but welcome, welcome. Welcome, welcome. Rob's Glasses, LOL. What are you laughing at? Which ones do you like better? I want to know which ones. Got these, I got the other ones. I don't even care. They're just readers. I've got to talk. Oh, you know what? I'm going to do this. A lot of times we do Christmas parodies. We've also got a Hanukkah parody. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. Festival of Lights.
Shake, shake, shake your menorah. Put it up with pride.
Do it.
Tell Hamas. You can't run and hide. Show all the haters like AOC.
Don't be afraid.
You and the squad love the enemy. My menorah has candles, more candles than I can handle.
That's right.
It's displayed on my table to show Hamas we're ready and able. You're out of line, Hamas. You're out of time, Hamas. Israel's win, your loss. You're gonna pay a big cost. You're out of line, don't believe you. Hey, Sleepy Joe, don't believe you. Shake your menorah for the world to see. Israel, you're supporting, unlike NBC.
Yeah.
Light all the candles, let them shine brightly.
Do it!
Because soon Hamas will be history.
Yeah, there you go. We got a battle with radical Islam, and they've been fighting World War III with us, and it's time to beat their rear ends to hell. How's that sound? Yeah. It's about dang time. Congress set to pass the NDAA with an anti-censorship provision. The Department of War is going to prevent the Department of War from using any advertising agency that deploys so-called media monitors, groups that rate news outlets for factual accuracy, misinformation, and whatnot, including the left-wing NewsGuard, to censor and blacklist conservative news organizations. I told you conservative apartheid was real. I told you because I've lived it. Major advertising agencies have been effectively censoring conservative media by blocking ads on their revenues using left-wing media monitors. Why doesn't Jeep advertise on Newsmax? Because they're afraid to advertise on Newsmax. General Mills, why not? Why don't we hear about Cheerios on Newsmax? We applaud Congress for taking the stand to oppose such censorship when it comes to military recruitment advertising. The Congress acted to make sure all Americans see those recruiting ads and stopping left-wing ratings like NewsGuard from targeting conservative media. It is ridiculous. The new NDAA provision certifies it does not rate or rank news on information sources for the factual accuracy of their content, provide ratings or opinions on news or information regarding misinformation, bias, or require any service that provides any ratings, rankings, or opinions. And it's always been anti-conservative. That's the way it is. It's always been. The Department of Defense awarded NewsGuard $749,000 for its misinformation blueprints project, which, of course, censored all conservative thought. The co-founder of NewsGuard is a major Democrat donor, helped fund the campaigns of Hillary and Bill Clinton and Barack Obama, by the way, among others. And this is going the way of the dodo. And this is good news for Newsmax and other conservative outlets because they've made it impossible to get advertisers. And it's ridiculous because our listeners, our viewers, consume the same products as everybody else. And you shouldn't be ashamed to advertise to those people because they have money and they spend it. Thank you very much. Last hour of the Rob Carson Show is right away. FBI blowing up stuff left and right. Don't go anywhere.
No blind rhetoric.
No talking down to me.
Don't tell me how to think.
Don't tell me how to think. Don't tell me how to think.
I trust Newsmax. Newsmax.
They don't tell me how to think. They let me decide.
Real news for real people.
it now.
You are about to hear the most interesting, informative, thought-provoking, and funny show in America. On air and on the World Wide Web. This is the Rob Carson Show.
This is the Rob Carson Show, and this is hour number 3. Our good friend Thane Rosenbaum is going to be joining us at the bottom of the hour, a legal analyst, law professor, and he's got some things to say about the Australia anti-Semitic slaughter. So we'll talk to him at the bottom of the hour. Thought you'd be ready for that. It's always going to be good. I believe Sean from Live Oak is on the phone. We'll get to Sean before we dive into the next topic, which, of course, is the FBI going after Donald Trump and being exposed now, and also Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton pilfering money, pay for play for American uranium. It's all real. It's all true. We said it was, but they called it disinformation. Sean, welcome to the show, brother. What's up?
Greetings from West Libtardia. I want to cover the failings of universities leading up to Brown. Security. Yeah. And first, it's where I was looking at the guy that was heading up Charlie Kirk's security.
Yeah.
And he discussed with the police chief of the campus police of covering the rooftop that Charlie was shot at, offering to put one of his people up there, but the only text he got from the police chief is, "I got this." And we know he didn't get that. And then we moved to Berkeley, where the people at the Turning Point USA had to run a gauntlet to get into that event and to get out. And now you covered all the failings of the police at Brown University.
Well, we've seen this. It's a festering boil. And we've been watching it grow and grow and grow. I've been following it since the early 90s, and as conservative speakers began to be boycotted and then attacked, and then conservative speech being called violence, and culminating in people like Riley Gaines having to hide in a library to avoid being accosted, or Jewish students being accosted. The rise of anti-Semitism with pro-Palestinian nonsense. Fortunately, that has been laid bare, but it is a very dangerous place to be a conservative, and now it was deadly in the case of Charlie Kirk, and it may be deadly in this case as well. And then you combine that with a woke bunch of morons, and let's face it, every time policing is in any way, shape, form put in the hands of DEI or wokeism, it is a crap hole. This happened in Washington, D.C. The police chief in charge of Washington, D.C. lying about crime statistics to make it look like crime had gone down 20% when it actually went up 27%, when it went up 2%. A nearly 30-point difference, and so this is the case with Providence, Rhode Island, the state of Rhode Island, and the university as well.
Well, I have one last question.
Yes.
Is this something that Trump's DOJ can go after these police departments for criminal incompetence, criminal negligence?
I don't know. I would think that if you lie about statistics and crime and literally reduce the kind of crime to lessen the severity of the punishment and the severity of the crime, that there would be criminality involved there. I would have to leave that up to the experts, because I am not that. I can't be an expert at everything, man. I can't do it, Sean. I try to be an expert at everything. I just can't do it.
Well, I have one other suggestion.
Yes, what?
It's not exactly constitutional, but George Bush did it. I wish all those Palestinian supporters were taken down to Gitmo and asked just one question. Do you know the name of the guy who did the killing?
Yeah. Thanks
as they waterboard him.
Yeah, well, I got to tell you, I'm done with all of this nonsense. Every Somalian here who was involved in that scandal up there. It's gigantic, by the way. It's moved into education, higher ed, and student loans. It's bigger than you can ever imagine. And, of course, Tim Votes is distracting by going after the amount of bullets you can purchase. So he is desperate. He is diving in the polls. He should resign, and he should go to jail. But I appreciate your phone call. Shocking deep state emails show the FBI red-flagged weak evidence before Mar-a-Lago raid. They had no reason to do it. They just wanted to do it.
Documents turned over from the FBI to Congress reveal the Washington field office was in the process of processing the DOJ's negotiate with Trump's lawyers to return any classified information, but they wanted that photo op. And it was dangerous because they were given orders to shoot to kill. Yeah, it actually happened. Here is the great John Solomon.
Well, that's what these emails show. First, they show that the Trump administration or the Trump team and his lawyer were cooperating. And in fact, the FBI wanted to leverage that cooperation and create a amicable solution that didn't involve a raid. The Justice Department said they weren't interested in making accommodations like that. Then the FBI told the Justice Department, the Biden Justice Department, that it didn't have probable cause, that the information they had was outdated, single source, couldn't be corroborated. Yeah. They didn't have true evidence that President Trump himself...
Kind of like the Steele dossier when they got the Pfizer warrants to surveil the Trump campaign transition team and presidency.
Have been the source of a crime, and the Justice Department said, we disagree, we're going to go ahead with it. The FBI continued to fight back, saying, we don't think there's probable cause. You certainly can't go to President Trump's office, or you certainly can't go to his bedroom and do it. And the Justice Department response was, you know what, we're going to expand the search. What you see here is a potential Fourth Amendment violation of President Trump's civil liberties. And
I want to see Merrick Garland and Chris Wray as bunkmates. It's interesting because on 8:30 a.m. August 8, 2022, FBI agents arrived at Mar-a-Lago. They notified the Secret Service ahead of time and didn't wear any identifying jackets to execute the... Wait, they didn't show they didn't show an ID? They didn't show that they were actually officers of the law? Shouldn't there be a protest like what, ICE? They also said turn off the security cameras, and they made Alina Habba leave the building. They didn't want anybody in there, any legal representation at all, because they were planting evidence. They were planting evidence. Don't believe me? Here's John Ratcliffe, National Security Advisor, last year talking about it.
Yeah, so that famous photograph, what we have now learned, and the government has had, Jack Smith and his prosecutors have had to...
They brought folders with them. They laid that on the ground to make it look like Donald Trump had classified and confidential material. And top secret.
That was staged, and those top secret classified sheets that all the public saw and said, oh my God, look at those top secret documents. Those were placed there by the FBI. And what Jack Smith admitted in court this week was that, in his word, they mishandled the classified documents and misrepresented those to the court. Maria, that's a kind way of saying we tampered with the evidence, then we lied to the court about it. And they got caught when President Trump's lawyers and the other co-defendants raised this issue and said, look, the documents here don't match up. The documents that were presented to us don't match the digitally scanned records of when they were taken from Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah. It was all a shakedown. It was all to take down Donald Trump, even kill him if possible. It was. It was absolutely just like that. So what do we do now?
This is significant, not just from a historical standpoint. I interviewed the Assistant Attorney General for Civil Rights, and that's Harmeet Dillon, and she said she is looking at the possibility of bringing criminal charges from anyone who tried to deny President Trump or one of President Trump's supporters their civil rights. That means this evidence, which, by the way, is still in the statute of 5 years, could potentially be prosecutable, or certainly go to the question of whether there should be a prosecution separately. And President Trump has shown he's not afraid to sue. I just asked the BBC, who found out that this week again. President Trump might have a very good suit, according to the legal experts I talked, that his civil liberties were infringed by the Justice Department. So this revelation is not just a historical or political revelation. It could have legal consequences.
I hope so. I hope some people go to jail. I hope Donald Trump sues their mother-loving asses off. I really, really do. Unbelievable. Tom Tiffany, Republican, talking about how the FBI was fully weaponized against Donald Trump and his supporters. There's no doubt about it anymore. It's not disinformation. You can't say that anymore. Hell is coming for you for doing this to us.
You know, whether it's the Catholics in the Richmond Diocese, the FBI going after people
January 6ers,
school board meetings, and now this, that they did not care what the law is. And hopefully Kash Patel is emptying out the FBI Washington office and getting those people somewhere else out in the country.
Or fired.
Because they sure did not do any favors to the people of the United States. This is going to go down as a very dark chapter in American history, and President Trump may have recourse now to be able to seek damages at some point in time.
Yeah, I want to see more than that. I want to see people lose their jobs and spend their lives in jail. That's all there is to it. But the FBI went after whistleblowers too. But they're coming out now.
Yeah, it is a good thing, but you think about some of them are just being crushed. I mean, some of these people should have been coming forward in real time and saying, hey, this is unacceptable, but they really felt that they couldn't because they knew that those political appointees by the Biden administration would crush them. And we saw that in some of our hearings that happened over the last couple years where whistleblowers stepped forward and, man, they went after them like a ton of bricks. It's really unfortunate, but the truth is coming out. The great thing here is, our moms and dads always told us that the truth is going to come out someday, and that's exactly what's happening now, though it should have never happened, these incidents, and it's a little later than we would have liked to. The truth is coming out.
What else is coming out? The Clintons getting hundreds of millions of dollars from Russian oligarchs after the Uranium One deal. I've been talking about this since it happened, and I've been proven right. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. Right back.
Law enforcement isn't to prevent crime. Law enforcement solves crime, not necessarily prevent them from happening.
Buffoon. Jasmine, she is a buffoon. District no longer exists. Out of the Congress real soon. I'll be glad when she's gone from D.C. No Jasmine, it will be pure bliss. I know that this may not sound PC. That mouth on her I will not miss. Buffoon. Jasmine is a total fake. Her ghetto accent's not real. How much more can we take? Buffoon. She was drawn out of her seat. Will be in Congress no longer. Her leaving will be a treat. The FBI says Democrats got ballots from China. The CCP are dirty rats, sending ballots from China. Fake driver's licenses the Chinese supply to cheat in 2020 can't be denied. Cash Patel produced the proof. China helped steal it. He's about to raise the roof. I can just feel it. Democrats, they are nervous, and they ought to be. If you got ballots from China, should not go free.
County.
Would I launch strikes in Mexico to stop drugs? It's okay with me. Boom, 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 boom.
Come on. Bang, 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 bang.
Boom, 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 boom.
Come on. Hey, hey. Come on. One of the greatest blues songs of all time. Performed by Big Head Todd and the Monsters right there. Thank you very much. So, newly declassified FBI and DOJ records have revived scrutiny of the Clinton Foundation's ties to Uranium One, which I've been talking about since it went down 2015. Records that closely track and reinforce investigative reporting, first brought to the national attention by Peter Schweizer when he wrote Clinton Cash. You see, records obtained by the Senate Judiciary Committee detail that federal investigators believe there was significant evidence worth pursuing related to criminal activity involving Clinton Foundation and the U.S. government's approval of Uranium One. She presided over it as the Secretary of State. I told you this, guys. And all of a sudden, she got $100 million from Russian oligarchs, and it's all coming to fruition. Do you suppose maybe this is why she destroyed all the emails and destroyed the servers and bleach bit them and destroyed all the devices of her staff with hammers? Well, of course it is. Of course it is. Here's the great Mike Benz.
It was actually Jeffrey Epstein whose lawyer testified in court that Jeffrey Epstein helped establish the Clinton Foundation in the early 2000s, right when Bill Clinton was leaving office. And
they became America's first oligarchs, at least of the modern age.
Hillary Clinton was beginning her Senate career and then into the White House. This Jeffrey Epstein visited the Clinton White House 17 times during the Clinton presidency, according to the New York Post.
Wow.
There's a pay-for-play relationship that the Clintons evidently had. Surprise to no one, what's happening right now with the Uranium One scandal breaking open again with these newly declassified memos from Chuck Grassley, that the FBI had an active criminal investigation into the Uranium One scandal. That was 20% of all U.S. uranium being sold off to Russia at the time that Obama had declared the Russian reset, that we were friends with Russia now.
Yeah.
Hillary Clinton had her Clinton Foundation receive millions of dollars from shareholders of Uranium One.
Wow, there's the Russian oligarchs.
Many of whom were Russian sourced. It looked like a direct payoff of the foundation associated with the Secretary of State, so that the Secretary of State would bless the sale of Uranium One, since she sat on the CFIUS review board that authorized the sale. And
Two figures, Frank Gistra, Ian Teffer, were both associated with Uranium One. Gistra, a Canadian mining financier who helped create the company, later donated over $100 million to the Clinton Foundation through initiatives he co-founded. What did I say? For 10 years now. Teffer, who served as Uranium One's chairman during the Rosatom acquisition, contributed $2.35 million to the foundation, both and financial ties to the company prior to its sale, which required approval from the Committee on Foreign Investment of the United States, where then Secretary of State Hillary Clinton held a seat. Thank you very much. It's all painfully obvious.
And remember, a huge proportion of Clinton Foundation money just goes to pay salary and benefits to
It's like the Clinton. It's like the Joe Biden cancer charity that he did when he was after he left the White House. None of the money went to anything. It only went to staff.
For Clinton's family, effectively, and friends. So this was like a direct payoff. The FBI tried to investigate it, but was shut down by Andy McCabe, the deputy director of the FBI, who would go on to play a significant role in Russiagate, no less.
Wow.
But the fact is
which was used to distract from Hillary Clinton's dealing with Russia.
There's still unanswered questions about what Epstein's role was with the Clintons. Why did he visit the White House 17 times in the 1990s? What exactly did he do to help establish the Clinton Foundation, as his lawyer testified?
Here's the pièce de résistance. And for everyone who told me, shut up about 2020 because it was perfectly fine, any complaint you have to have about it. I remember, and I've told you the story a dozen times, I was demonetized. I was taken off. My Facebook page went away the day after the 2020 election before I could post anything. No questions asked, no explanation, no recourse, just gone. And any ability to talk about the 2020 election was shut down. Why do you suppose that was, Mike Benz?
Their one chance for winning the election in 2020, which is what they called the Red Mirage Blue Shift event. This is CNN, for example, September 1, 2020, month before the Whitmer kidnapping, 2 months before the election, 4 months before January 6th. Deciphering the Red Mirage and Blue Shift, uncertainty surrounding the election results. This was what CISA and the censorship operation to censor the 2020 election was all about. It was to pre-censor anything that might question or, quote, delegitimize.
They did it.
Upcoming miraculous come-from-behind victory the day after.
Yeah, remember 10:05 Eastern Standard Time on the election night when they stopped counting the votes when Donald Trump was way out in front?
Or in the days after, where it would be a red mirage, Trump would win on election night, but then it would shift blue and Biden would win. They knew that was Biden's only path to victory, and that it would look to all hell. So they had to pre-censor 5 months before that happened, starting in June 2020. Any criticism of it on social media. That's why you got banned for questioning mass mail-in ballots.
Yes.
Because high-ranking government officials at the Department of Homeland Security teamed up with their outside blob mob, who are all career specialists in toppling governments, and know that the crux of it is perceptions of legitimacy.
I want people to pay for what they did to us. And I hope it was worth all of the friends that I lost when I was telling the truth and you were unfriending me because I was a conspiracy theorist. Honestly, don't bother. Apology not accepted. Got this email. Account disabled. Critical virus threat detected. Your iDefend trial has expired. Your PC is now vulnerable. Only problem is I don't have that account. It's bullcrap. It's phishing. phishing, phishing. It's a scammer trying to get me to sign up for a product that I don't have or update my payment for a product that I don't buy. They do it all the time. That's why I have WebRoot Total Protection on my computer. WebRoot Total Protection is a perfect gift. You can give the gift of cybersecurity, peace of mind, protection of yourself and a loved one, starting at less than $20 with my exclusive offer. WebRoot is the perfect gift for even the hardest person to shop for in your life. You got a daughter in college like me. Maybe you want to take care of her. Real-time antivirus protection against emerging threats like malware, ransomware, potential boyfriends. Did I say that out loud? Yeah. Firewall and network monitor, 60% off right now. 60% off right now. Go to webroot.com/Carson. Webroot.com/Carson for WebRoot Total Protection. They've got advanced dark web monitoring. Protection includes toddlers, students, seniors, everything. I trust it. It's awesome. It gives me a report every day on my computer here in the studio. And I feel secure because I know I'm secure. Webroot.com/Carson. Webroot.com/Carson. The great Thane Rosenbaum joins us next. My nightly ritual now is a little ice, a little vanilla yogurt, banana, a little milk, and a scoop of chocolate brownie Beams Dream Powder in the blender. A little while later, I hit the sack and I sleep until sunrise. It's amazing. These days, everything moves so fast, and it certainly can mess with your sleep schedule. That's why I'm here to tell you about Beams Dream Powder. It's a healthy nighttime blend packed with science-backed ingredients shown to improve sleep so you can wake up refreshed and ready to take on the day. Dream is made with a powerful blend of all natural ingredients, including reishi, magnesium, L-theanine, apigenin, and melatonin. I've been using Beams Dream Powder for a year now, and I can honestly say I feel sharper, calmer, and more focused, and I'm not alone. Beam has improved over 28 million nights of sleep for people across the country. So if you've been waiting for the right time to try Dream, this is it. Go to shopbeam.com/Newsmax. Use code Newsmax and take advantage of my exclusive offer for 40% off. You can get their best-selling Dream Powder for just $39. So seriously, think about it. Go to shopbeam.com/Newsmax today.
with talent on loan from God. And have my brain tied behind my back, to be fair.
You were the sunshine of our life, Rush. That's why we'll miss you oh so much.
You know, I'm the mayor of Realville here.
You cut down liberals like a knife, Rush.
El Rushball.
Forever you'll be number one.
I am Rush Limbaugh, household name.
America needed a hero
in all four corners of the world.
And then you came to our rescue.
The Limbaugh Institute for Advanced Conservative Studies.
Competition, you had zero. How could so much talent be inside of you?
And don't doubt it.
You were the sunshine of our life, Rush. That's why we listened every day.
That's it. It's not much more complicated than that.
You helped us get through all the strife, Rush. No one will ever take your place, because Rush was the sunshine of our life, of our life, of our life.
Meeting and surpassing all audience expectations every day behind this golden EIB microphone.
On the street protesters, we've had our fill, but Randy Fine has a bill, says move them on over, run them all over, run over protesters blocking all our roads. The Thump Thump Bill is what it's called. I'm sure the left will be appalled, but move them on over. Run them all over. Step on the gas if they won't step aside. Sure, it might leave a dent, but make them a hood ornament. Run them all over. Thump them all over. If they block our streets, they'll get what they deserve.
I think Jews in many communities around the world understand exactly what you mean with that question, but for people outside the community, why does that kind of concern come to mind?
It's just what our government has done in this country. This happened, this happened.
He's got blood on his hands.
On October.
And he knows it.
The acts of terrorism have been rewarded by the Australian weak government.
Yeah, 100%. It's a worldwide phenomenon since October the 7th. Thane Rosenbaum is a distinguished university professor at Touro University, an legal analyst, CBS News, essayist, jurist, journal, novelist, and friend of this radio program. And he joins us on the Newsmax Hotline. Hello, my friend, and happy Hanukkah to you.
Thank you, Rob. And also, Rob, friend indeed, for sure.
Yes. Brother, I knew that something was up when a week after October the 7th, they made up a hospital bombing and they immediately turned the tables on Israel and any sympathy for Israel. And this is spread throughout the world, and the left has gobbled it up. They've gobbled it up. And unfortunately, in places like Australia, and listen, we always use the analogy 1939 Germany, but in Australia, since October the 7th, the day after October the 7th, they were shouting "Gas the Jews" in the shadow of the Opera House there in Sydney, weren't they?
Yeah, they really were the very next day, Rob. And as if to say words don't matter. Even the new mayor of New York said, well, I think globalize the Intifada is not language that I would use. I mean, that's just such a, as if to say, I understand it means killing Jews, but it's not the choice. You're supposed to be a leader. The Prime Minister of Australia should be the Prime Minister for everyone in Australia. And instead, he's saying, I'm scared out of my mind that the Muslims will either both not vote for me or will create more of a havoc here in this country. So I will placate them because the Jews are normal. They're not going to blow themselves up. They're just a smaller member of the population, and I could care less about them. And if you let 2 years go by and let people scream the word genocide and intifada, revolution, and globalize the Intifada, something like this is inevitably going to happen. And also, Rob, people don't realize that America's intelligence agencies had already warned Australia that they believed that a Hanukkah attack was imminent, and they ignored that. And the Jewish Association of Australia posted on Facebook the other day a warning that they also gave to the government, and the government just ignored it.
You also mentioned in your article, you wrote this wonderful piece called Blasting a Broken Record, This Time Bondi Beach, which was in the Jewish Journal, jewishjournal.com, by the way. It was a wonderful piece, and I am so sickened that we're here. You wrote in this, it says, the Islamists torched a kosher cafe, Sydney's Bondi suburb, October 2024. Arson attack on an Israel synagogue, Melbourne 2024. The past 12-month synagogues in Sydney and Melbourne have been targeted with arsenic. This is 1939 Germany. It is. I mean, this is exactly what happened. This is exactly what happened because the Jews lived in peace in Germany until Hitler's ascension and then became an outcast. You're seeing this crap around the world. I've never in my life seen this. And we have got to beat back this horde.
Yeah, Rob, and I'm a real cynic on these things, but I even admit I'm shocked. But on the other hand, Western societies, because of political correctness and identity politics, basically said to Muslims, your identity matters more than your assimilation. We don't care if you assimilate here.
Yeah.
Identity matters more than anything. African-American identity, gay identity, queer, whatever it is, your identity is the most important thing ever. And so you can come here. You do not have to integrate or assimilate. We do not have to absorb. You can have your own Sharia courts. You can build mosques wherever you want, and you can teach whatever you want to teach in there, even if it's about hate. And we will be tolerant because we're Western civilization, and therefore we show our moral strength through our tolerance. And now we're seeing, Rob, all over the Western world and in Australia and Canada, the results of this, the consequences of this, where you told people that their identity was more important than your national values. Your national values we could care less. Your identity is more important, and because of multiculturalism and identity politics, we'll give you the run of the place.
Yeah.
And so now all of a sudden, they're probably saying, why are you upset? You told us we can do this.
Yeah.
And you told us we had free speech to say whatever we want. We can scream, and yet if anyone looked at the Quran a long way, wrong way, they throw you in jail. You look at the Quran the wrong way, but we can say anything we want about killing white people, killing Jews, because, you gave us permission.
I mentioned the other day that, a couple things going on. I've said that we have been in the throes of the Civil War in our country for about a decade, effectively the last 5 years. There is a body count, there are casualties, there is damage to the tune of billions of dollars. the left's war against the United States, the Republic has founded, and the conservatives. And there's no doubt about it. And they have de facto civil war, and they have soldiers for hire in Antifa and other radical organizations. There's no doubt about it. It is a hired army, and it is a civil war. And we always talk about World War III, Thane. How long in your life have they been talking about World War III? Since World War II. And I'm afraid we're in the midst of it. I really am. And there needs to be a warlike response to what radical Islam is doing in the world, because they have declared war on the civilized world. It is radical Islam versus the civilized world.
Rob, let us remember that Jesus Christ had a role in his world of peacemaking and love. And Moses, his message to Jews was law. He was the lawgiver.
Yes.
And Muhammad was a military general.
Yes.
A warlord.
Yes.
So what do you expect?
Yes.
It's a religion, yes, sort of. But it's also a political movement.
Of course it is.
Christianity is not a political movement. Judaism is not. That's why there's Zionism. Judaism is a religion. Islam is a movement that is there, that is it's not unabashed.
Yeah.
They're not hiding it. World power is what's interesting to us.
Well, I want you to hear,
I said before about the openness of our societies. Like,
yes.
We held back Islam for 1,000 years,
yes.
from the Crusades.
Yes.
We always held them back. And they're probably laughing and saying, you opened your societies
yes.
up to us. After years of fighting, you opened it up and you said, it's all yours, carte blanche. And now I don't know if it's too late to stop it.
I think it is not too late. I am never going to give up, and I will fight to the death, particularly for my brothers and sisters in Israel. I will. I swear to God in heaven I will. And good will win. And good will win. Good will win. I have no doubt about it. We are. First of all, we're much more intelligent than the Neanderthals of a radical Islam. We are much better armed than they are, and we are morally on the right side of God. And they're whatever God they have. You cannot look at a loving God through the eyes of radical Islam. This is Gad Saad talking about radical Islam, what it's all about.
If you take your Islamic faith seriously, as many people have taken over the past 1,400 years, it doesn't lead to the flourishing of liberties, notwithstanding the fact that hundreds of millions of Muslims decide to ignore the objectionable parts of their religion. That click in people's brains has to happen. It can't be that Islam is peaceful because you know a gay Muslim who's married to a Jewish guy. That's not the definition of Islam.
No, and I am asking, and it's been now 24 years since 9/11, for the peaceful Muslim community to stand up against those who are destroying their faith. You've got to get it together. Let's take a break and come back with Thane Rosenbaum. This is The Rob Carson Show.
Yeah, again, look at the kind of language, and look at the races. For the Senate in 2026 cycle. One of the signature issues is being anti-Israel and saying these incredibly anti-Israel kinds of views on Israel, and it's super critical. And now people that were just recently elected, like in New York as well too. That's. Call it what it is, and I can't imagine why that's becoming more and more part of my party's platform.
Because they take advantage of useful idiots, is what the deal is. That's what happened with what happened in New York. A lot of zones that will never be kept. The reason being they wanted to use useful idiots because first and foremost, the Zoran Mandami is an Islamist. That's why imams could support him, even though he's pro-LGBTQIA+, because they know he doesn't believe it. They know he used things like, oh, yeah, we're going to make the buses free, and we're going to keep the rent low, and we're going to give you free grocery stores. And the useful idiots will be used, and then they'll be discarded. It always happens this way, Thane Rosenbaum, doesn't it?
Rob, I don't know how you know this living in Maryland, because you would think the people of New York would have figured this out.
I live in Virginia, right? Which is not much better, unfortunately. I'm across the river from Maryland.
He sounds, he sounds rational. That's exactly how someone should understand it. There is something that's really perverse about queers for Palestine, right?
Of course.
Homosexuals would last in a Sharia law society 10 minutes.
Yeah.
They'd be shot, hung from cranes, thrown off buildings. I love the quote that you gave before about, people say, well, I know a Muslim who's married to a Jewish person, so obviously everything is okay. And that kind of delusional behavior, right, is just really hard to listen to. Yes, because the truth is, you probably, your listeners, whether Virginia or Maryland, they probably say, well, I don't know anybody who would behead somebody.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you probably don't.
No.
Yeah, you don't. But there are hundreds of thousands of people, if not hundreds of millions of people, who have either participated in that or certainly hundreds of millions of them believe in it. There's 2 billion Muslims in the world, and the surveys, polling shows that around 60% of them believe in a strict adherence to Sharia law.
Yeah.
So, that's a lot of people.
I know.
That's 1.2 billion who actually believe in stonings, beheadings, dismemberments. And on October 7th, 2023, I know this is the way you feel. The minute the Western world heard the words beheadings, torching babies, and gang raping girls, it should have been over. It should have been ball game, right?
Yes.
Everyone should have said, "What just happened? What barbarians are doing that?" So you know that either anti-Semitism is just a switch that is too easy to flick,
yes,
or something even more perverse is going on, a self-hatred against America and the West and white society.
Well, there's
made people jump so quickly to say, yes, I'm on the side of the people that behead, torch, and rape.
Well, and I heard Joe Rogan talking to Elon Musk the other day about something called suicidal empathy, which is what Minnesotans have with regard to Somalis coming in and just desecrating the state and with crime, and then also looting the state to the tune of billions of dollars. And yet you've got white Minnesotans who are going to these restaurants that didn't serve any starving children to defend their Somali brothers and sisters. That's suicidal empathy. It's the kind of thing that causes an insane, crazy cat lady to fall in love with a death row inmate. It's the kind of person who goes to Gaza as a woman thinking that life is going to be better there for her.
And I don't know what it is. And there's a lot of that with the self-loathing Jews in New York City who voted for Zoran Mandami, that they would vote to their own doom.
Yeah, it's perverse and demented. And the apologies and the excuses there's always a reason why something is like, yes, of course, there's context to beheadings. No, there's not.
No, there's not.
There's no context to gang raping girls.
Yeah.
Oh, even the UN, the Secretary General of the UN, shortly after October 7th, said, well, this all happened didn't happen in a vacuum. Yes, it did happen in a vacuum.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? This is something that, as the Secretary General of the United Nations, you should be taking a very strong position on. Yeah. The Women's Committee of the United Nations refused to acknowledge the sexual violence that took place in Israel, even though the evidence was everywhere of sexual violence.
Well, the thing that I think that Donald Trump needs to export from this country, like he is exporting freedom and patriotism into Central America, as each one of those communist dictatorships fall, Venezuela will be next. The next is this battle with radical Islam. He's going to have to export that, and it's going to have to go around the world, and governments who don't play along, it's going to have to take the citizenry to rise up. It is going to. It's going to take homeboys, hillbillies, and Hebrews. That's where I came up with that expression when they started doing anti-Semitic protests. Homeboys, hillbillies, and Hebrews. And we're going to have to come together, and we're going to have to defend our Jewish brothers and sisters. That's just it, dude. I'm not screwing around with this. It's going to take everybody.
I love you for your passion. Look, my parents came here after the Holocaust. Yeah. They were Holocaust survivors.
Yes, sir.
There was a social compact that was made by immigrants, whether they were Irish or Polish or Russian in the 19th century, and the Germans in the 19th century, all through the great migrations of the 20th century. You came to America to be part of American society, to embrace American liberal values. Right? This generation, several generations of Islam, has been completely giving the finger to America. We have no interest in your liberal values.
Yeah, I know.
We have no interest in the democratic liberalism. We're interested in imposing our values on you. But if you say what I just said, it's Islamophobic.
Well, guess what? That's ending. We got to run. I do believe we have the right man in the White House to end this nonsense and start deporting people. I say leave it up to the authorities in the United States, but we have to come together. We will come together, and we will defeat the scourge of radical Islam, because they made the mistake of exposing themselves. They are pompous. They are arrogant. They've exposed themselves. They think they're in control in places like France and Australia, but they've really pissed off the masses, and the beatdown is coming. Thane Rosenbaum, we got to go. God bless you, my brother. A blessed and happy Hanukkah to you.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you, my brother. Thank you.
We'll talk again soon. Let's take a break. It's the Rob Carson Show. All righty. I don't have any patience for it. I'm ready to. If they want to beat down, let's give them a beat down. They are a murderous horde. I'm tired of being politically correct about it. What am I going to talk about next here? Hold on. I got something I want to play here next. Yeah, I'm going to do that next. Anyway, you guys have been so busy on the chat today. My God. Yes, Mickey Hastings, God is not a vengeful. God it's a man who has made God something to fear. God is complete, unconditional love. I understand that. Radical Islam, or Islam as a faith, is not that way. It is not a kind and loving and benevolent faith. It is not. It is not. And it doesn't offer the same sort of profound wisdom of the Holy Bible. It does not even close, because it comes from a place of domination. And it's not going to work. It's not going to work. Mickey says, thanks for the comedy relief, Rob. Well, this is one of the things I do. It's the only show that does this. So there you go. This is what I did for Rush. This is what I'm doing here. And I will always do it. And, if you think I'm not a serious person because I do comedy, you do so at your own peril. Mr. Carson, love the show. Your pleasure to listen to get right to the heart of the issue, but I would talk a bit about more election fraud, and I can't cover it all, Sunshine Thomas. Try to get to it all, man. We covered everything today, brother, and I think I talk about it more than anybody else. So I appreciate your thoughts. Everybody's going to say I don't talk about something enough, but I try to cover it all, and we covered it all today, baby. Covered it all today. everything. And I talked about the 2020 election when I was told not to. So there you go. Here we go.
A little over 2.5 here.
Dig it.
Gee, I wonder if there's any connection between the first Somali in U.S. history to serve in Congress and the billions in fraud in her district, which is mainly made up of Somalis.
Weird.
So what's her story? She landed in the U.S. after fleeing civil war in Somalia. She says her dad was an educator.
He was a war criminal.
But he was also a colonel in the Somalian army under a dictator who committed war crimes. So yeah, she escaped the problem that her family helped create.
She's a scumbag.
And the Washington Free Beacon reports that, she really did marry her brother. Possibly to skirt immigration laws and get her brother into the U.S.
Yeah. And there's a massive fraud in Minneapolis. I can't get to all of it. They've uncovered millions of dollars. 2,000 ghost students fraudulently received $12.5 million. Education Secretary Linda McMahon sent a letter to Minnesota Governor Tim Volz about that. Tim Volz is in a lot of hot water. I hope the little B word goes to jail. Also, Minnesota's unemployment insurance program. Massive fraud in that. Minnesota is a cesspool. Minnesota is like the movie Fargo. You think everybody's friendly and everything, but there's a lot of dastardly deeds going on under the table. I lived when that movie. I lived in Minneapolis when that movie came out, by the way. Sorry I couldn't get to all of that today, but Tim Walz is in a lot of trouble. He's polling very badly, and he's now turning on gun control, even though the shooting happened in Australia, but Democrats are using it to control guns in America because they want to distract from all the crap that they're doing, and they're looking for the next thing. An Australian shooting now is making them want to control guns in America. It's ridiculous, utterly ridiculous. Tim Volz will go to jail, and I think Keith Ellison will go to jail, and I think that Ilhan Omar either has to go to jail or has to be deported from the country, as well as all of her countrymen who are not here legally or had anything to do with this fraud whatsoever. You have lost your pass. You are now never allowed to come back to America. It's time we stood up to these people who don't want to live here and don't want to assimilate. GTFO. There you go. That's going to do it for the show today. God bless you and yours. God bless Donald Trump. America's founded what he's doing for the country. And until tomorrow, which is Thursday, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, and don't catch the stupid. See ya.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real.